ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today we've got something real special for you. See, I was scrolling through Twitter this morning as I was editing a little something for the end of the year, and it turns out that it's Godzilla's 67th birthday today. Godzilla's first movie came out November 3rd, 1954. And since then, well, we've had the big guy around in one form or another. We've had him in movies and TV shows and video games, as you can see here. And I kind of wanted to pay homage to Godzilla the best way I knew how, by having him beat the snot out of some of the people he's had to deal with in the past nearly 70 years. In a game that was created to celebrate Godzilla's 50th anniversary, which, yes, was 17 years ago. Madness, I tell you, madness. Godzilla's 60th anniversary was almost a decade ago, with his revitalization via Legendary Pictures. Goodness. But in any case, and we're going to be doing this by playing Godzilla Save the Earth. More specifically, by playing as Godzilla 2000, who you can see here, and going through the hard mode, because it is the most complete experience in one fell swoop. Theoretically, it should have every monster, and any monsters that are missed will be battled against inversely with each other. So if, say, Godzilla 90s and Mechagodzilla 2 are two of the monsters that get missed, it would be Godzilla 90s versus Mechagodzilla 2, just as an example. And I'll be dotting questions throughout the video, and I would very much like to know what you guys think, so please feel free to comment, whether in the premiere or afterwards, certain answers to the questions at hand. For instance, this first question is, what was your favorite Godzilla movie? If you haven't seen a Godzilla movie, you can skip ahead. To question 2, which is, what is your favorite non-movie-based thing that Godzilla was involved in? Whether it was just a cameo or the anime series that were involved, and all of that stuff. But for those of you who have seen at least one Godzilla movie, I really want to know what your favorite is. Mine personally, it kind of goes back and forth, but I'm going to be that guy and say that Godzilla 1954 is my favorite. I mean, it's the debut. It's still my favorite of the movies overall. And really, all the other movies, if it wasn't for this one, this whole franchise wouldn't exist. So I feel like it's very important that I pay my respects to the original. It's also the one that I have actually watched all the way through the most. I have watched several others. Godzilla vs. Destroyer, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Godzilla 2000 was the first one I've ever actually seen. But my favorite is still Godzilla, the original Godzilla back in 1954. So I'm curious to know if anybody else has had that same experience, or if they have a weirdo one, like Godzilla vs. Hedorah. If you like Godzilla vs. Hedorah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the flight scene was pretty damn cool. Anyways, going on hard with Godzilla 2000, strictly because this is where most of the content is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your Queen Vorticia.
Goose pathetic earthlings. I am Vorticia, Queen of the Vortex. Your scientists have unlocked the secrets of Godzilla's DNA and have encapsulated its incredible power in the form of G-cells. I must have these G-cells in order to create the ultimate monster.
Messed up and didn't say cool
Fly,
things.
my pretties. Find the G-cells and bring them to me. Destroy everything in your path if that's what it takes.
Bring it on, Vorticia. And now we get to fight monsters from all across the various monster eras, from the Showa era to the Millennium era to the Heisei era. Good times. I'll throw in some Godzilla trivia while I'm at it.
2000 versus
Anguirus. Perfect monster to start off on. Now, Anguirus is widely known to be the first monster that Godzilla ever actually fights in any movie. He fights him in, well, Godzilla vs. Anguirus back in 1955, where it is revealed that a second Godzilla, the modern Showa, or modern, in quotes, the Showa Godzilla has busted out of the ice in Russia and has been chasing the giant monster Anguirus around. And as far as I'm aware, no video game to date has ever used the Millennium Anguirus design from Godzilla Final Wars. Because weirdly, despite being widely regarded as Anguirus' as Godzilla's sidekick and one of the big five, or one of the most popular monsters in Toho's lineup, for one reason or another, oh, I forgot how hard is. Let me go. There we go. Now I gotta get out of the volcano. He hasn't really been in much. He was in Godzilla versus Anguirus back in '55. Then he shows up 13 years later. Put me down. Jeez. I always forget how relentless the hard AI is. What?! I'm aware of your jank, Godzilla Save the Earth, but how did that happen? Okay, he can't hit me from this. Oh, he can. Anyways, but other than that, he appears in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, and then he doesn't show up again until Godzilla Final Wars. Which I find incredibly weird, because Anguirus is one of those monsters that everybody knows in one form or another. So, how is it that he hasn't been in more movies? Or anything, really? Must exploit all of my advantages. Push it back. There we go. Oh god. Oh, that's bad. Now I just have to wait. Or clobber him off me. I forgot that I could do that. He's gonna run out of rage sooner rather than later. Owie. Well, he doesn't have rage anymore, so despite what the glowing aura would say, he does not have rage anymore. I have to just push him back. Owie. Ow! I know Anguirus was supposed to show up in a bunch of other flicks, but he hasn't actually shown up in anything in an age. Okay, I see that Atari symbol. Come here! Give me some help. I didn't realize that the final targeting would already work on monsters. Got him. With 5 seconds to spare. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize how long that fight actually went for. Oops. Anyways. So yeah, that's all the trivia I have on Anguirus at the moment. So who's my
2000
next?
versus
Gigan! The first monster to ever make Godzilla bleed. Wasn't until 1974 when... Oh, scumbag. That's mine. Move it. Anyways, so back at Godzilla vs. Gigan, Gigan actually did make Godzilla bleed for the first time. I believe it, if I remember correctly, it was either a buzzsaw to the face or he got, or Godzilla got hammered, but... Come on, asshole. I got G-cells to collect. In this case, rage power-ups. Let's party. I'll take the rage power-up so that I can mollywop them. Back. See, unfortunately, Godzilla 2000's Rage Art isn't actually that good for straight-up combat. It's really good for the... It's really good for destruction mode, if that's worth anything, but in like a meta-game sort of sense. I see that Rage power-up. I'll leave him at that. Because I am determined. I'm pretty sure Gigan is one of the best. Like, from a meta perspective, I'm pretty well convinced that Gigan is actually one of the best monsters in the game, but this is from a perspective that I haven't taken the chance to fully do the deep dive for yet, which is part of why the Monster Breakdown series actually kind of became a thing. Rocked him and socked him, man. I'd rather take that than full-powered beam to the face. Ow. Not too confident. Don't undersell the power of the fireball. Yeah, Gigan was the first monster to make him bleed. I think he also showed up in Zone Fighter, too, and got his ass kicked. But that's neither here nor there.
Godzilla 2000.
Oh, I think I know who it is. Ghidorah?
Versus
Yeah! King Ghidorah! So this is the Showa Ghidorah.
Monsters Fight!
Even though it occasionally uses sound effects from the Heisei Ghidorah. And this is Godzilla, you know, for the longest time, King Ghidorah was the Lex Luthor to Godzilla's Superman, or the Joker to Godzilla's Batman. The ultimate arch nemesis, the biggest and baddest thing this side of the galaxy, here to cause trouble for our boy Goji. And really, it kind of makes sense. He's a giant alien space dragon, and oh god. This was on hard, and I managed to win a beam fight. How did that happen? You almost never win beam type fights on hard difficulty. But anyway, so Ghidorah has consistently, I don't think, ever had, outside of maybe one appearance, which was GMK, where he was basically created as a replacement for Baron anyways. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Where he was taken out by just Godzilla. King Ghidorah has always, in the Japanese Godzilla movies, required at least two other monsters for or at least one other monster for Godzilla to at least slow down. So in Godzilla versus the I think it's called Invasion of the Astro Monster. Oh, that's gonna hurt. It was Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan, and then it became Rodan and Godzilla in Godzilla Monster Zero, and then in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, it was literally half a dozen different monsters.
Godzilla 2001.
You win.
Oh no wait! There's the Heisei movies where it was just 1-to-1. At least I'm pretty sure, but. Yeah, King Ghidorah consistently was one of Godzilla's most powerful foes until Destroya showed up and became like Doomsday, if we're following our Superman metaphor. No trivia here, just aliens attacking the pyramid building, and I gotta stop them. That guy flew a little too close. There we go. Ha-ha! Oh. You lucky duck. Vortak! Die! There we go. That heals me, but it doesn't heal the building. Yeet! Did not work. Indigestion! The power of spicy peppers and indigestion win the day! Sorry. Lame jokes aside, I don't have a script and I didn't really have time. I want to get this out specifically, because it's Godzilla's birthday.
Godzilla 2000.
And I have the means to it. It makes me very happy that I'm able to do this stuff. Megalon! Lambasted. Oh, by the way, I didn't touch this specifically in the Ghidorah section, but King Ghidorah is one of the big five for Toho's giant monster franchise. So they are the most popular monsters and the most frequently used monsters according to Toho, at least relatively speaking. So Megalon is not one of them. King Ghidorah is. Get out of here. Get out of here. And the other four are Godzilla, naturally, Rodan, Mothra, and Mechagodzilla. So basically all the Toho monsters that you see in the Legendary movies, those are all of the big five, plus Kong. So that's really cool, but that's enough. Ow, ow. Hot foot. You dick. So our boy Megalon. You might be wondering, I don't recognize him. Well, that's because this poor asshole has only been in one movie, Godzilla vs. Megalon, where he got paired up with Gigan. And Godzilla had... Who's really fishing for that beam lock there? It was Jet Jaguar that was in that movie too. And if you know, you know. But let's just say Mystery Science Theater 3000 had a blast tearing this movie to pieces. Yeah, it's too fast. But yeah, poor Megalon was only in that one movie and had a very unfortunate loss because Gigan basically abandoned him in his time of need, and Godzilla and Jet Jaguar just kept beating the shit out of him. If you ever get the chance to watch the movie, I highly recommend it. It is not one of Godzilla's best movies by a long shot, but it has one of the most iconic special moves in a fucking movie I've ever seen. All I'll say is flying drop kick. Moving on. Who's our next opponent?
2000 versus
Rodan, the third Toho monster.
Fight!
And one of the last ones to get a solo movie by Toho before it was all eyes on Godzilla. Because Rodan got a solo movie in 1956. Which, yes, was 2 years after Godzilla in 1954. So that makes Rodan one of the old heads. And, of course, one of the big five. There we go. Gotta get your timing on point if you want to beat these guys on hard with a beam fight. But Rodan initially had his own appearance in the movies, and is one of a handful of monsters to have appeared in all three core eras of Godzilla movies. 4 if you count the Legendary trilogy as its own separate era, and I would be inclined to agree, even if it's not Japanese made per se. So he's appeared multiple times in the Showa era, and this is the Showa design, even though it's using a Fire Road. Heisei era Millennium or Fire Rodan's uranium beam, and of course in the Heisei era, getting my terminologies all mixed up and whatnot. The big guy was instrumental in that series for multiple reasons. There's a G-cell thing hiding inside of the castle. There is! And then in the Millennium era, he shows up for Final Wars. And I believe it was Godzilla, Mothra, and Baragon. That was who showed up that was who showed up in that. Grab these.
Godzilla 2001.
You win!
I was finishing my point. Yeah, Rodan only really shows up in Final Wars, I believe. He doesn't really show up anywhere else. But Rodan has had more film appearances than several monsters. And that's part of why he's the big five. And one of the last ones to actually get a solo flick. I think the last one was actually Varan. Never saw the Pipeworks games until Nature for the Wii.
Baragon.
And hey, it's Baragon! Baragon's a funny monster in Godzilla Destroy in the Pipeworks Godzilla series because he was technically supposed to be in the first one, Destroy All Monsters Melee. I believe possibly to coincide with the release of GMK, which is called GMK because the full name is Godzilla, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, which is an absolute mouthful, let me say. Yeah, so he was in GMK as one of the first movie monsters. And also was, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first monster portrayed fully in a suit by a woman in the movie. I can't remember her name for the life of me. I'm gonna try and get her name somewhere on screen now. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And there's like set footage of her that is some of the best. That's some of the best crap that you'll ever see. Which I encourage you guys to go find. But suffice it to say, outside of being a pain in my ass right now, Baragon is one of my favorite monsters. Unironically, I love this little weirdo. Although what's funny is that Baragon's only shown up in 3 movies, and in one of them in 2 of them he's in them for like less than 10 minutes total. You are just annoying. Ow. I swear, if I get my ass kicked by Baragon of all monsters. Which, at this rate, might actually happen, considering the lead that we got. You little weasel. But back to the original piece of trivia of why it took until Save the Earth for us to see him when he was supposed to be in Destroy All Monsters Melee, which came out 2 years prior. Gimme. There we go. Now's my chance to... This is my chance to even the odds a little bit. Ow. Cut it out, you little weasel. Nah, he got me. He got me fair and square. Ugh, annoying. But I am playing on hard, and it's okay. You get to retry the levels. But what happened was that Baragon was supposed to be the exclusive monster on the PlayStation 2 version of Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, which never released. According to... I can't remember if he was producer or head developer, Simon Strange over at Atari. Apparently what happened was that... Oop, I ran right past the G-cells I was looking to grab. Don't overextend. I said don't overextend. Which is rather unfortunate, because when something gets shuttered that late in development, it's got to be crushing. Which is also why Godzilla, which is why the Hyper vs. Godzilla games actually have a pretty cool distinction. A rather unfortunate distinction, but a cool distinction all the same. Where no game has been released on all 3 of the major consoles. We had Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee on the original Xbox, and on GameCube. We had Godzilla Save the Earth, which came out on the PS2 and on the original Xbox. And then Unleashed came out for the PlayStation 2, even though it was basically a complete reskin of Godzilla Save... Basically just a reskin of Godzilla Save the Earth and nothing more. And and we got Godzilla Unleashed, which came out for the Wii, and for the PS2. Which is always a blast. But the Wii version is much better developed, effectively, than Godzilla Unleashed for the PS2, because it has more monsters. It had a unique, albeit not great, sort of gimmick going on at the time. And it had the largest roster, which is why I kind of want a Godzilla fighter with Godzilla with Wii Unleashed with Wii Unleashed's roster, so that we can get that roster again and just, you know, have a blast playing a game that is actually enjoyable to control. So that's Baragon. Also, last little fun fact about Baragon. Baragon is the only monster of the 4, except for Godzilla, of course, that was not cut from GMK. Mothra and King Ghidorah replaced 2 monsters. They replaced Anguirus and Varan, which is actually kind of unfortunate because they got to the maquetting stage, and you can actually find images online of the GMK Anguirus and Varan maquettes, and they look great. Now we get to smash shit. Earn 25,000 points before the timer runs out. No problem.
Get ready to crumble.
But that is kind of the unfortunate downside to GMK, is that in a bid to make sure that Toho was gonna get people to see this movie, because apparently Godzilla wasn't enough, they wanted if I remember correctly, the director loved the idea of like 3 versus 1 and the whole Godzilla thing, but he requested that some of the monsters get dropped for some of Toho's more famous monsters, which ended up happening, and Anguirus and Varan got cut, while Baragon got to stay. I would actually really like to see a remake of GMK where it is the original 4, but it's just me, because one of my favorite monsters, and that's the next question I'm going to ask actually, is what is your favorite monster of the Godzilla franchise? And would you like to see them make more appearances? My favorite monster of the Godzilla franchise is actually Varan. Even though the poor bastard has only shown up in 2 movies, and one of them was a freaking cameo, essentially. Varan has always been one of my favorite monsters because he's such an unusual concept. He's a tri-amphibian reptile flying squirrel thing. He's cool. I like him. I like his design, I like his concept, and I wouldn't mind if they actually dragged his ass back for something. But that we'll have to effectively wait and see for. I guess while we're still smashing the city, we know Godzilla tends to smash a lot of, you know, relatively big cities. You know, Tokyo, Osaka, places in Japan, and ow. And in the legendary flicks, we get to see Godzilla smash Hong Kong and San Francisco. And Boston. So we get to see quite a few American cities get smashed up in the American Godzilla movies. Go figure. And in the 1998 Godzilla movie, we got to see a version of the monster, which later got parodied and turned into Zilla, thank God, because Zilla's actually my runner-up. But Gino, as he became known as by the fan base in the late 90s, got to smash up New York. But the question very quickly becomes if I can destroy this lighthouse. There we go. Not worth 125 points, but whatever. I wasted too much time, I think. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete this challenge. But We can get close, though. What was it? Favorite monster? Oh, yeah. So, in the spirit of this great big Destructathon, which did not quite pan out, got very close, but not quite 25,000. What city would you like to see Godzilla smash? It could be your own city, it could be a city we haven't seen yet, it could be a locality that Godzilla hasn't been yet. Like, we haven't seen Godzilla stomping around Australia since Final Wars, so
2000
that could be fun.
versus
Mothra.
Monster.
This is where the fight gets really annoying. I mashed too hard. I mashed too hard. I mashed too hard. I actually expect to lose to Mothra here. Because Mothra is a big old pain in the ass. Always has been, always will be. There we go, got some juggles going. Ow. Despite the fact that you can't block, you're very annoying, Mothra Larva. And that's why. Because that's why I kind of had to go on the go on a bit of a blitz. It's because Mothra can completely recover all of her health. So, fun fact about Mothra. The English version of her debut movie, which is Godzilla vs. Mothra in Japan, I believe, is called Godzilla vs. The Thing. Which I find hilarious because what a thing to call your first female monster that fights Godzilla, guys. Versus The Thing. And yes, Mothra is female. At least in most iterations. There are versions like Mothra Leo that are male, but I really want to watch the Mothra Leo movies. Or I think it's Rebirth of Mothra, because even though she started as a Godzilla monster, Mothra actually got her own franchise, basically, in the 90s. The Rebirth of Mothra series, which did really well for non-Godzilla monster movies in the 90s. And of course, she is one of the big five, and one of the monsters that makes the most appearances outside the Godzilla and Godzilla flicks. And we just kind of squashed her.
Godzilla 2001.
You win.
She was in our way. Sorry. Although I think it would have been kind of funny to see if they were able to fit the Shobijin in the... Or is it Shobijin? Let me know. The little fairy girls in King of the Monsters 2019, but... I think what they did with it was pretty clever. This asshole. Destroya. So, Destroya, Godzilla's answer to Doomsday. This big mother flubber is one of Godzilla's most powerful adversaries, just like Ghidorah. But, unlike Ghidorah, this guy actually managed to effectively kill Godzilla, in a way. He killed Godzilla Jr., which is Godzilla's kid in the 90s movies. And then, by the end of it, Godzilla went super critical into Meltdown and died, effectively. Ah! And in case you're wondering, what exactly is Destroya? Is he some sort of crazy giant space alien thing? Actually, no. Destroya's not an alien. He's old. Really old. Technically, he is 2.5 billion years old, depending on who you ask. He is, indeed, the oldest of the Godzilla kaiju known so far, being Precambrian crustaceaforms, which is weird because crustaceans didn't evolve until 400 million years ago, but it's a Godzilla movie, so let's give science some slack. So let's cut the science some slack here, people. But the point is, he's a big old colonial organism, and this is actually what is considered his perfect form. Yes, the Godzilla movies were doing forms before Dragon Ball. At least, hopefully that's not a facetious gag. I really don't know that much about the Dragon Ball franchise to be sure, but I mean, Biolante was doing forms in 1989. Depending on who, and then there was Hedorah. So yeah, Godzilla was doing forms before Dragon Ball, because Godzilla vs. Hedorah came out in the 70s. But Destroya had a perfect form, which is this form. Aggregate forms, which are like giant crab monsters. Flying forms, which are at the same power as the aggregate forms, but just strictly able to fly. And yes, this big behemoth is actually able to fly, even in this form, but that's never really shown off in this game, just like how Gigan's ability to fly isn't actually really shown in the Pipeworks Godzilla games. Now you're probably wondering, why the hell is he called Destroya? That seems like a little bit of an on-the-nose name, and you would be right. But there's a good reason for that name. The crustaceans, the super ancient crustaceans that make up Destroya's being were effectively irradiated by the Oxygen Destroyer, the thing that killed the original Godzilla. And they gained the ability to create and metabolize micro-oxygen, which was the thing that manages to destroy oxygen. What fun. So, yeah. Ooh! Find and destroy the alien hammer sub. Oh, it's the X button for it. I totally forgot how to play this particular on-rails minigame. There was supposed to be... If I'm not mistaken, there was actually supposed to be... I don't remember all these subroutines. I think I took a wrong turn. It's semi-on-rails, anyway. There was supposed to be another one of these with Rodan. But it actually never really shows up. And we actually do get to have a little cameo from a monster that I think gets... There he is! Ebirah! Who looks like a complete pushover right now. But I always have a hard time dodging his attacks. Right, shrimp anybody? Ow! And he's gonna come at me from the back. Ow! Stop it! Ow! Stop it! He tracks pretty well, though. Be gone, crazy giant demon shrimp that somehow got mutated. I think it was either by the alien that possessed him or the weird tropical fruit juice thing. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie that Ebirah debuted in a considerable amount of time. So you will have to forgive me for that one. Ow. There we go. Destroy. So, yeah, Ebirah was a really weird one. It was nice to see him make a cameo. Kind of like how Hedorah does in Godzilla Destroy Monsters Melee, but at least G-Dam Mothra, Hedorah actually shows up in a physical form of sorts. in any fight you run into, not in this, just in this one specific minigame. Am I taking a wrong path here? I don't think so. Crumbling rocks, which have never actually hit me. Ow. Oh goodness, that's a lot of submarines. Y'all are assholes. Okay, here it comes. The hammer sub. Those are really big missiles, can I just say? Stop being an asshole. Fireballs become real troublesome here. Hold on. Ow. I am well aware of this fact. I didn't find a health pickup. Burn him up! So both of those sides are smashed. That smashes that. And now it's just that one eye over there. You have to wait until it comes. That should do it. That is the lowest amount of health I've ever had trying to take out this giant, stupid giant submarine. So I gotta say, it is a pretty cool design. Oh, skadoosh. Never to be seen again. Ibera defeated. Hammer Sub defeated. Moving right along. Who is our next monster?
Godzilla 2000
Oh, it's Kiryu, isn't it?
versus
Yeah, it is. Ah, crap.
Monsters. Fight!
Ah. Bad, 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 bad. Ah. No, you don't. Oh. Damn it. Oh, that's bad. I gotta get out of here. Ah! Avoid the missiles. Ah! Well, thanks for helping me avoid your own missiles, smarty. Ow! Okay, Kiryu trivia. Kiryu is the third distinct incarnation. Technically fourth, but he's the Millennium version of Mechagodzilla, which is why he's called Mechagodzilla 3 in this game. Because I believe they just called him Mechagodzilla in the English dub of the film. Ow. But he became called Kiryu in the... Give me that! Thank you. Can't use any sharp attacks, so I'm gonna have to go all blunt. But he was created for Godzilla versus... I can't remember what the first time movie he was in was called. That might be Pepper me with these. There we go. Headbutt, please. Thank you. Oh, that was the wrong way. Ah! Yeah, this is where it becomes a problem because Mechagodzilla 3, his Type 3 Mesa Cannon is electric type, which is one of Godzilla's weaknesses. So see, I don't mind if he peppers me like that too much, but okay, well that's gonna be a problem. Ow! Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose this one. Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest. Ugh. It's okay. Kiryu is also one of my favorite monsters. Definitely my favorite mech. Because of his whole backstory thing and whatnot.
Godzilla 2000.
I am not looking forward to this.
Mecha Godzilla 3. Monsters, fight!
Clang. Okay, well, at least I have the damage lead this time. Give me that. Atari symbol! Mine! Okay. Put you up there. There we go. Yes, pepper me all you want. I'm just stalling you. I think, based off of prior experiences, should be Batra, but yeah, it's Batra. Ow! I hate that pseudo armor nonsense. Like, it doesn't give you a specific thing, but it might as well basically be NetherRealm Studios armor. Yeah, like that, but it's good when it works for me. And rage! Give me rage, give me rage, give me rage, give me rage. Yes! That's my favorite. I'm going to clobber you so hard. Ooh. Owie, owie, owie. I timed that because rage attacks are completely invincible. So, try and get some damage in while he can't hurt me is a really good strategy. Back up, you little punk. Gotta be careful though, because those missiles really do hurt. Say, ow! Maybe don't jump. be cool if you could actually like hit them with your breath, but you can't. And he's done.
KO.
Godzilla 2001.
You win.
I'm gonna have to very quickly respond to something here, but yeah, that's Kiryu. Sorry, I had to focus a little bit because he was being an asshole.
Godzilla 2000 versus
Mogira.
Monster.
Technically Mogira, technically labeled as Mogira 2. This is it's clearly never not gonna work like that. Have to get him to burn his energy reserves. Now that he's basically out of energy, he's gonna back up. And now he literally can't do anything at this range. Except for trying to block a particularly strong beam attack to convert it into his proton cannon thing. I think it's called Photon Geyser. I don't know. But all I know is that... Yeah, see how when he blocks, he absorbs my energy? When he comes at me, it's going to be an unblockable projectile. And you're probably wondering why he's called Mogira 2. Well... Oh, crap. I gotta get away from him. Run away! See, he has like a better version of my own rage attack. It's a little bullshit. But he's called Mogira 2 because the original Mogira was an alien created in the Showa series, I believe for a non-Godzilla movie, weirdly enough. With antennae and a really bizarre, like, design and everything. And then this is the Heisei. This is the Heisei Mogira, who shows up in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. And he's down. Well, he's not down right away, but he's going to be down right away here. Watch this. Just chuck him. And he is down! And that's Batra. Batra is basically evil. Is basically Mothra's evil brother, for lack of a better term. That's basically who that giant flying death machine is. Excuse me. Now, how far along are we? 59.5 minutes, eh?
Godzilla 2000
Oh, we're almost done.
versus Monster.
Because this is the penultimate battle. Got him! And I don't mind that at all. They're gonna give me a head start. Well, would have given me a head start, but you know how it is. There we go! Rage! Go smash! Name me another video game where you're gonna get juggles like that. None. That's what. Orga isn't really a problem at this stage, but don't get too cocky. He is a bit of an asshole. Ow. Stop throwing things at me! Okay, this is just getting stupid. Catch this. And that. And one of these. Not throw invulnerable during that attack. Ah! But definitely an anti-air. Weirdly, but it is what it is. Back up. You're done.
KO.
Godzilla 2000 is won.
That's the penultimate battle. We got one more to do, and it is Space Godzilla. Come to think of it, there's actually a couple of monsters that are missing from this, I believe. If it is truly Space Godzilla coming up.
Godzilla 2000 versus Space Godzilla.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I forgot to post trivia about Orga. Talk about trivia about Orga. Silly me. So Orga is kind of an alien clone of Godzilla, based when a race called the Millennials tried to basically tried to take over the Earth, and by copying the genetic code of the dominant force of life on the Earth, which, as you probably know, is Godzilla. So they did that. The Millennium colony mutated in a horrible fashion, became Orga, who then subsequently got all blown up, as a lot of Godzilla monsters tend to be. This guy is Space Godzilla. Kinda similar in that an alien crystalline organism that got spat out of a white hole, possibly mutated by Biollante. Again, Godzilla backstories are nothing if not wonderfully convoluted messes. Who took the form of Godzilla, because Godzilla is the dominant form of life on the planet. Yeah, I don't think I was gonna win that, because he was next to a crystal, and that would have. Come on. Stay away from your crystals. And he's technically a villain of the Heisei Godzilla. He hasn't shown up in anything since, really, but clearly the idea of an evil asshole, well, Space Godzilla. Oh god, if that is like an actual property that various attacks have? Uh-oh. Mash out a stun. How about no? How about we don't do that? I will eat you! Sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just had the desire to go munch, 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 munch. So there we go. That is Godzilla Save the Earth.
You have not seen the last of the Vortex.
I mean, I know I haven't, lady, but we won't be seeing you for another 3 years, and it's going to be in a great big mess, and nobody's ever going to talk about you again. But now you get to see this bad boy. The true ending. Which was supposed to take place in a crater in Mount Fuji. And a whole bunch of other things that were supposed to be in here that got cut because of time constraints. Ain't that a bitch? So let's very quickly take a look and see what monsters we're missing that we have not seen. Godzilla 90s we've not seen. Mechagodzilla 2 we haven't seen. Megaguirus, weirdly, we haven't seen, even though Megaguirus is specifically a G2K Millennium villain. Mecha King Ghidorah we haven't seen, and Jet Jaguar we haven't seen. It's a bit of an awkward position because it's 5 monsters, but here's what I'm gonna do. Godzilla versus Godzilla. Set this to medium. Yeah, I only set it to easy for the monster breakdown so I can more easily show off things. And we're gonna do all of this in the boxing ring. And then once we are done all the next 3 fights, hold on a second. I think for expediency.
Monsters, fight!
What are the rules? 1. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're gonna play as Godzilla 90s versus Godzilla 2000. I believe I set the difficulty to medium. Big. This is not how this fight's supposed to go. Go. Ah! They're reaching double hammer fist. Not befitting. So this is 90s Godzilla, aka Heisei Godzilla, who first appeared in 1984 and went all the way through to 1995. Ow! I can't believe he was able to jump past the bullshit. Come here! That's the juggle limit right there in demonstrating, because that's a thing in this game. Stop it. Stop it. I don't know why you ever go for the jump kick. It almost never works out for us. And us being Godzilla. And let's finish you off with a field goal. Ha! And there we go. Who's the superior Godzilla now? Okay, next question I have is, what is your favorite non-movie medium for Godzilla? Did you like any of the anime shows they did? Any video games, novels, comic books, what have you? I really want to know. So next up is Mechagodzilla 2. Oh yeah, we didn't. Oh yeah, and there's no Mecha. Actually, so it's 6, right? No, yeah. Wait. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I gotta figure it out now. Mechagodzilla 2 versus Megaguirus. Or no, Mecha King Ghidorah. Do this. Back in the boxing ring. And then for Jet Jaguar versus Megaguirus, which I feel like is going to be a pain in my ass, it's going to be
Mechagodzilla 2.
There we go. It's like a staging arena for the GDF.
Mecha King Ghidorah.
Also, fun fact, Mecha King Ghidorah doesn't have eyes.
Fight!
Gotta be careful with any of my ranged attacks, though, because... What?! He can just back up and run... Oh, that is dirty! I didn't know that! Oh, that is dirty. So... For those curious as to why I was doing that, Mecha King Ghidorah has a massive weakness for projectile weapons, which is what I'm trying to exploit. Like, even that half-charged one did, like, a shitload of damage. But the trouble is that he has a projectile, a shield that lets him absorb all weapon-type energies in order to heal himself. So I have to, like... I have to almost get creative with when I actually implement my ranged attacks. Which makes sense, but... Did you see that? That missile came back and bit me in the ass. It's very rude of it. Also, he could disable... He's... Mecha Ghidorah strikes me as a very, like, outer zoning monster. There we go. Owie! Owie! When did this asshole get juggles? Ow! I got too greedy. Just the wrong button. Otherwise I would have had him. There we go. I don't know how I'm going to finish him off. And I'm out of here! So Mechagodzilla 2 is the Heisei Godzilla. This is technically the Heisei Mechagodzilla. It's not technically Mechagodzilla 2 proper. But yeah, he does have the finger missiles and the naval blast, and there's even like harpoon-type shock weapons that built in. And Mecha King Ghidorah is King Ghidorah's body from the 23rd century, cyberized by 23rd century terrorists to go back to the 21st century, or back to the 20th century, to stop Tokyo from becoming a massive global superpower that I guess ends up destroying the world? It's weird and illogical, but what else in Godzilla movies are? Jet Jaguar! Only really showed up in Godzilla vs. Megalon, although I think he does show up as a major character in Godzilla Singular Point, the anime, which I have not seen, but is very interesting. Size-changing robot. One of the first guys in the guy suit doing martial arts type monsters. Preceded, or was around the same time as like Zone Fighter and Ultraman. Megaguirus is a Millennium era monster. Big, giant, irradiated dragonfly that sucks up energy and is the queen of a horde of giant dragonfly monsters.
Jet Jaguar.
So this is a bit of a funky matchup.
Megaguirus.
But we'll see how this goes.
Monsters. Fight!
That's right. Get flattened. And I'm out of energy. So it's back to my normal size. Well, normal combat size. Ow! And I'm just gonna be annoying for a little bit. Because I can't actually hit Mega Gyarados due to the fact that she's a floating monster. And she can't steal energy from me, and she doesn't have a range weapon, so I'm just gonna run around the arena like a crazed tiny man. Until I get to full energy, and then I'm gonna be big again. That big frickin' slap you out of the sky. I don't know what like fierce is for this guy at this stage, but ow. But check this out. He's got like a photonic thunderclap attack. It's a terrible projectile, but at least he can basically use it whenever he wants. Whoa! I tried to get fancy. And there you go. That's every monster in Godzilla Save the Earth. A preview, I suppose, because I'm still doing monster breakdowns every Saturday. But happy 67th birthday, Godzilla. This is going to be fun as hell to edit. Don't forget to be awesome, my friends, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Hey then.